Archery is a
Yeah.
worldwide sport. All over the world, archery is one of those sports that is growing and has been going on for 64,000 years. And I have a special guest on the show today. I have Dan with us. Hi, my name is Roy Canterbury. I'm your host on Archery Talk 101 today. So Dan, I'd like you to go ahead and introduce yourselves. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, thank you, Roy. I would like to say thank you for your invitation for your podcast, and I will to send the greetings to all your followers and say hello from Serbia. I am one of the best archers in Serbia in barebow division. And I'm starting with archery relatively soon, before 5 years ago. And now I have my own club, that is Vidovdan, Archery Club Vidovdan. And our main discipline is a barebow. I started with Olympic bow, because usually we're going in Serbia through the, how I say, training about regulations of world archery, you know, and all of these things, and safety education, basic techniques through the Olympic bow. And then after you choose your bow, do you want to shoot barebow, compound, or some traditional bow that is after that you are allowed to choose, you know. But generally, you must finish some, how I say, seminar about 2.5 months, 16 hours. You must go, you have a theoretical part, and you have a practice, you know. And after that, you can continue with bows and whatever you want. And for this, I started to compete before 2 years. First in Olympic, and I didn't wasn't so good, honestly, in Olympic bow. My good friend organized 3D tournaments, and he called me always, come to see, come try, you know. And I went to this event once with Olympic bow. It was disaster, you know. Because I was only shooter archer with Olympic bow, and I figured out that Olympic bow it's not good for for 3D competition, and start to train barebow. And I made in this last 2 years very good results. And now I have my own club with my friends, and we're keeping indoor state record on 20 feet, 18 meters in Europe. We're keeping a team record in Serbia. And for instance, in this season, I got 4 gold medals in this indoor season. I improved my setup, buy new bow, and maybe we will speak later about this.
Yeah, that's quite a start. What made you get into archery?
Honestly, that was you know, when you are a kid, you always play with the bow and arrows, you know. And but you know, always some business and obligations didn't allow me to start with archery, and I planned that some time, because I have my own company and I have a lot of stress, you know, about on the job, and I find that can be fine for like anti-stress therapy, you know. And one my friend told, we spoke something, and he told me, hey, I start to go on one archery club after 25 years again. Do you want to go with me? I don't have a company, you know. And I say, yes, I'm planning to do that a long time ago. And we started together, and it was, of course, you know how they say, the boys never grow up, just toys become more expensive.
Right.
And that was the some reason just for relax and to meet nice people, but because in archery I didn't find the bad guys it's always good friends, and we make tournaments, and always be very fun, you know.
Yeah, that's the thing that I'm finding, and everybody I talk to, I talk to a lot of people, and archers are one thing that, if you're shooting a bow, you're instantly a friend.
Yes,
You know,
definitely. Definitely.
it's
I made a lot of friends during these last 2 years. I traveling a lot, and I meet the people all around Europe, and of course in Serbia, but we are a small country, you know.
yeah,
It's a not big deal. Wherever you go, a maximum 300 kilometers, you know.
yeah.
And
Moving around countries like we move around states here.
yes. And we now working on to improve the archer level in Serbia, to improve on a bigger level, because honestly we are a little late with this. We don't have so good archers if you compare with European archers or world archers, you know. And now we transform our archery system, competition system, educations. This year we will have in guests a lot of experts for bear bow, Olympic bow, you know, who will make seminars, and the main goal is that our coaches learn something. How is that in Europe and in the world? You know, because I was in a world championship in Slovenia this year, but that is a federation which is community of the maybe 25 countries. That is HDA federation, not World Archery. That is a small federation. It was about 10 countries, European countries, on that competition, and I went on this event because I would like to see where we are, you know, because I am one of the best in Serbia, and I want to compare with the European archers. And honestly, I was ranked 22 in a bear bow, and that is a real situation in our archery. And now this year we have a significant improvement. We will see. We have some European championship in Romania this year. We will see. Maybe we make some progress. We made some progress, you know.
Yeah,
we will see. But we're working on this because we're a little late for countries in our neighborhood. For instance, Croatia, it's quite better than us, you know. Hungary, of course, they have a lot of very good tradition, you know. And in Serbia lives a lot of Hungarians in the north of Serbia. And but of course they have a own tradition. They shoot with instinctive bow, a Hungarian bow, you know. And they are very good. And now we will try to increase the level of archery in Serbia on some level, but for that, you know, because you are an archery expert, of course, you know that is not a short-term job. We must work several years to make this on a satisfied level.
Yeah, it takes time, you know, to get moving up in there, and
Yes,
you know, like
yes.
you're doing, go to the other groups and shoot in their events and see how you're doing compared to them, and learn from them. You know,
Yes,
that's the thing.
yes.
If you go, you know, you shoot with somebody that's better than you are, pay attention, learn. You're going to learn from them what's going on. And you know, that's the thing about archery is, you know, a lot of archers will, you know, you're having trouble with something, you know, ask them. A lot of them will tell you.
Yes,
You know, it's like, here's
yes.
what I'm doing. You know, this is what I have done that helped me out. And
Definitely, definitely. I met a lot of guys. For instance, one funny moments from this competition was I was first day in a group with one Slovakian guy, and we chit chat, you know, about everything. And I asked him, how old are you? And we are, both of us, it's 49 years old, you know. And I said him, you shoot very well. How long you shooting? He told me 17 years. You know, he asking me, how long you? 4 years, you know.
Yeah.
And that is the difference, you know. They have a lot of much more years behind themselves, and of course results must come, you know. Now we will start it with education, our coaches, that is the first, and transfer to this knowledge to the kids. Because I'm too old for for Olympic Games, you know. But maybe some generation can make some results, and generally we have a good now some individuals in compound and in a barrel. You know, that was a European Championship in the Nîmes in France. We had one guy, and he was 15 on the total score, which is very good for our conditions, you know. And now we have on a local, because we have in Serbia two how do I say, 2 seasons. Indoor, outdoor, of course, but we have a Cup of Serbia and Championship of Serbia, you know. Now it's an indoor Cup of Serbia, and I see that the results, it's quite better if you compare, for instance, before 2 years. Now we have, before 2 days, I had a competition that was a 4th qualification tour for the final cup. And one senior woman broke the Serbian record and shoot amazingly. You know, that result can be very, very, very good in a Europe. It can be in the first 5 archers in Europe, for instance, and that is a very good. I was very, very, very happy to see that we have a significant improvement of our skills in the last 2 years, but 2-3 years will be more necessary that we can approach to the European level.
Yeah, it's always nice to, you know, go around different places, and you know, over there where you're at, you know, there's so many different options, you know, being in Europe, there's a lot of places you can go see different things. And you know, here in the States we don't have quite a variety. We do have a variety between the different organizations, but it's kind of all, you know, you got 2 or 3 of them that you're going to go with, and you know, over there it's such a variety of people over there, and things that
Yes,
it's just amazing, you know, the variety that you can have. And you know, traditional is real big that I'm seeing over there.
Yes. I'm following a lot of Facebook groups for archery, of course, from America, because USA, because of course you are a leader in archery. Last competition, I looked Lancaster, honestly. And it was a very good competition, and archers from all around the world. Las Vegas, I didn't have a time to watch yet, but I find the time to watch it. And I have also friends who living in America, and or working and come here in Serbia for some during the winter season, you know. And they told me that main bow in America, it's a compound, like I can see on your background picture.
Right.
That is a compound. But you know, in Europe we have a lot of different styles and bows, because a lot of history events was in Europe. You have a Hungarian bow, Turkish bow, long bow from England, you know. Even you have a Serbian medieval recurve bows. And you have a lot of different styles and federations. And for instance, in whole Serbia, we have about 2,500 archers registered, you know. But real number, it's I think about 6,000-7,000, because many people shoot this like traditional archery, not to compete, and they are not registered in our archery system. And this is, you can see, you know, different cultures, different bows, techniques, almost it's mixed everything. You cannot say, for instance, in Europe that something how I say, main style. No, everything we shoot with everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such a variety over there, you know.
Yes.
Pretty much here
Yes.
you have Olympic bows, long bows, recurves, and compounds and crossbows. Yeah,
Yes.
that's pretty much about it. You got, that's
Yes.
one of those
Yes.
you're going to
Yes.
shoot.
Yes.
And
That is
yeah.
that's have a sense to measure, you know.
right.
And you have enough people to make some cup or championship, because from this year we have a new system. Previous years was a system before a long time ago created for small group of archers. That was a tournament system, you know. And that was good when you have on competition or tournament 70-80 peoples. But now we have 200-300 peoples, and that is not possible to organize in one day. And we reorganized in our system of competition all this, and we have some list with the points and classification per you know. Everything made the system much better. Yeah. Because the number of archers, which make me very happy, it's bigger and bigger. People see that is a very nice sport, very nice skill, you know, no physically hard, you know, everybody can shoot, kids, old guys, you know. Everybody can shoot. Do you want to shoot for fun or for competition? That is less important, you know. But it's important that you have a lot of archers, and we increase the archers and the number of clubs, of course. And now we are in this reorganization of everything, you know. Yeah. That is some systematic approach, and we expect results in the next period. And that was one of the reasons why I established my own club, because I collect 5-6 very good barebow archers, and our goal was to make it like example, how that can be, you know. Right. And for this season, we started to compete, and we take all gold medals on all competitions, you know. And people pay attention on this, you know, and we started to share our knowledge, you know. And that becomes push other archers to train more serious, and now we have it after we are almost on we have 3 weeks more to end of the indoor season. Now we have some, we can say some competition, you know. We are not alone on the throne, you know. Yeah. They improve the skills, they train hard, and how I say, we pull the people to be better, you know. When they see it is possible to shoot, you know, some result on broke the record on everything, you know, and that can be everybody. If you're working with a good coach, and if you train hard, everybody can do that. And this was a reason why we established this club to be elite archers on one place.
It push each other a little bit more.
Yes, yes. We want to be leaders and push other guys, because we have some guys who has a potential, but they don't have a coaches, they don't have experience, And we're trying now to organize some international tournaments. We will have in April, I think, European Club Championship outdoor. That will be target for Olympic 70 meters and for barebow 50 meters. And that will be a very good event that we can take some experience and meet good archers, and also we make contacts between the clubs. Because in Europe, everything is close. It's not too far away like in America, We can very easily to make some cooperation from Czech Republic, Slovakia, Germany, Austria, Croatia, Slovenia, Greece, Bulgaria, whatever. And they come here on tournaments, and we go there on foreign countries on tournaments, And this experience is necessary if you want to exchange your knowledge and see something new, to see some trends, in archery, and that is very important, But of course, like all average archers, we have a problem with financing,
You're right.
Yes, and with this COVID issues and. Generally this situation in economies, it's very hard to find sponsors,
Right. Yeah, kind of hard to find a sponsor when they're not going to get their word out, whatever product they're sponsoring, and that makes it a little tougher, doesn't it?
Yes, I have some such kind of job that I know a lot of people from abroad, and I traveling a lot in Europe, Africa, and Asia. And now I'm in negotiation with one Greek company to be our general sponsor,
Oh,
yes, because they are my clients last 7.5 years, and we know very good each other. And I'm asking them to be our general sponsors, that we can provide some financing for how I say regular costs,
yeah.
You have some cotization costs, you have traveling, fuel, because I don't know how USA have a system, but in Europe, generally, all costs is covered by clubs.
Oh, yeah. Here, a lot of them you're going to pay your own way.
Yes, yes, by own way, and that is people who has a goodwill to or have own companies like me. I can finance that, and that is. But from the government, you cannot get it anything.
No,
Definitely.
We have sponsors here too. There's there's shooters that shoot for certain bow companies, and they get a real good price on their bows, and different accessories. That's the way. The archers are going to help pay for it, but
yes,
generally most of us, that unless we're running around on a pro circuit, we're buying our bowls for full price, we're buying our accessories, we're paying our own way to go and paying to get into shoots, and it's not till you start getting at the higher levels that you can start getting sponsors, or get attached to an archery shop, and you'll get a little better deals that way. But a lot of them, if they're smaller shops, they're not going to pay anything.
No, definitely. I will tell you something interesting, maybe for your followers. In Serbia, if you believe it, we have one archery shop.
One archery shop for the whole country.
Yes. You can buy archery equipment only on one place, and I would like to say thank you for them. They provide for us all equipment, and also legislation in Serbia and most of European countries, it's quite different than in USA. you're very you have a liberate laws. And in Serbia, for instance, I cannot buy abroad, for instance, limbs, and they cannot deliver to me without special permission. And that special permission costs per import, for instance, $150. And there's no sense that you buy something abroad.
Yeah.
You know, if you have a lucky that customs don't look on your package, you know,
Yeah.
that can be go through the customs without paying this. I bought once some Samic limbs from alternatives.com from Great Britain, and I had the luck to receive it after 2 weeks without additional costs. But generally, they calculate to you customs and VAT costs. And limbs, I paid almost double price.
Yeah, because all the customs.
All customs costs and VAT, it was a double price I paid. Okay, I say, I will pay. I want these limbs, and end of story, you know.
Sometimes if that's what you want, you know, you got to pay for it.
Yes, and that is my setup for 3D. It's a Samic, but for indoor target, I have a Gilo setup, you know. And also, I provide the Gilo after several months. I complete the riser and limbs.
It takes a while to get them all put together.
Yes, yes, but I start on the time, you know.
Yeah, you know, and wait for all the parts to come in and then
yes,
get them all
yes,
assembled.
And, yes, settle all the bow before the season. And now it's that working very well. But generally, I have one friend who's shooting with me. He is a truck driver in USA, and he don't working during the summer, during the winter months in USA, and he returned in Serbia before 1 month, I think, and he will make a break. And he always talking about what you buy in USA, how the shops look like, you know, something like that. And when we see the pictures, you know, from the huge archery shops, and oh, that is a dreamland for us, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, when you have one archery shop, and how well stocked are they on accessories and bows and stuff? Yes,
and that was the reason that we have how I say, some problem. In the beginning, you cannot know which bow you will be right for you. You know, you must try it. Like a beginner, it's not so important. You know, you will keep buy some cheap riser and some VNS limbs or something like that, and you will start it. But during the time, you will see. You must see your brace, your strength, you know, and your arrows. You must make bear shaft tuning, you know. And it's very difficult to buy, for instance, archery on a one piece. You cannot buy 5 pieces to try it. You must buy 12 arrows, and then you when you cut bear bow tuning, bear shaft tuning, and everything, you must try it. And if it is not good for you, you must sell it. Yeah. And buy a new one, you know, again. And that is can be expensive. Right. You know, if you're buying 12 arrows every few months, that is not good. But you know, we have some market. We have a group on Facebook where we can trade. Because always somebody begin, and that can be good for him, for beginner. We trying something better, you know, and we exchange the arrows, because I have 12, you know. I take, for instance, 6 for me. I cut and complete, but I have bear shafts and fletches and points without completing. and I can 6 hours sell to somebody else, you know.
Right.
And we make some, you know, always find a way to provide the gear for all of us.
Yeah, that's what's nice about, you know, getting clubs and stuff like that, is there's always somebody that has something you can try.
Yes,
And you know, want to start out, then hey, you know, try this and see what you think. You know,
yes,
and if you don't like it, well, try this one. Somebody else like something, you'll find something. It's like, and this is extra equipment that you have. And
yes,
if I say,
yes,
well, okay, sell it to them. You know, and
yes,
that way they can try it out.
yes. I often because I changed this, you know, I didn't know this procedure. I always buy new limbs, new risers, you know. And one time, previous year, I for instance sent two limbs to guys who want to try. If it is okay, you will pay me. If not, because we all know each other's, you know.
Right.
We are a small archery community. We know each other's. And he called me, do you have limbs 30 pounds, you know? Yes, I have it. Can I try it? You can. You know, I sent to him, he tried, oh, this is very good. He pay me, send me money, or he returned to me, oh, it's not good for me. I will take it 34 pounds, you know. And we in archery must help each other to to save some money and to have it for traveling and compete.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, and then too, you know, whoever's got the biggest vehicle takes as many as they can fit in the vehicle, and you know,
Yes.
saves on gas, and not everybody
Yes.
has to drive. And
Yes. Generally, archers have we call that the car with a big trunk. We call that like a van, you know.
right.
And gear it's back. Archers, 5 archers per car, you know.
Yeah.
And we split the cost, you know.
That's the way to do it. You know, if you got to travel very far, you know, carpool, it makes it a lot easier.
Now I have for instance, we have a final round of indoor championship qualification round in a Sunday. And I already have one guy who called me and say, can I go with you if I don't find other? Yes, of course you can, you know. It is in a city 200 kilometers away. But if you go there and back, that is a 400 kilometers. And with these gas prices, it's if it is not necessary, everybody to go with own car, you know. But we generally have a big cars where can pack the gear and no problem.
Yeah, that's definitely way to go. And then you have good conversations on the way, because you have a common subject to talk about. All the way there, just talk about archery.
Yes,
Or
yes,
other things, but
of course, we how you shoot on training, what you achieve, you know. Did you change? Oh, I changed the arrows, you know, this is better, you know, maybe bigger fletches, you know, maybe smaller.
yeah.
And always you have something to chat, you know, about archer, because if you are archer, you have some, how I say, obsession.
Right.
I can say, don't start speaking with me about archery. I can speak 3 days without break. You know?
Yeah. So, do you hunt over there at all, or
What?
do you hunt?
No.
With your bow?
No. We have a hunting areas in Serbia. I think 3 or 4 places where you can hunt. But for hunting, you must pay additional per animal, and you know how is that going. You must, if you kill something, you must pay a lot of money. You know, and this is very expensive in Europe, and that usually go guys who like this, you know, and the hunters who can pay this. For instance, for like a deer on your picture, you must pay $4,000. You know.
That's That's expensive.
Yes, expensive, especially if you take in consideration that average salary income, it's $500 in Serbia. For regular people, that is 8 monthly salaries, you know. It's not
Yeah.
cheap, you know.
Yeah.
And we have a very, very small number of the hunters, you know, because you must have a lot of incomes for hunting, you know, and generally in Europe, it's very expensive. I see, for instance, I'm the member of the group on Facebook for, they made the groups for hunting in Africa. You have 6 animals for $4,000, for instance, you know. In Serbia, if you kill deer, you must pay $4,000, you know.
Yeah.
You know, it's very expensive in Europe if you're a hunter. You know, this is allowed. We have 4 or 3. I think that must be a hunting area with the borders, you know, with the fences.
Right.
And you can hunting, but it's very expensive.
Yeah, I can see why there's not many hunters over there.
Yes, yeah, definitely in Europe that is a very expensive spot if you want to hunt.
Yeah, we're kind of lucky over here in the States because, you know, we can, you know, an out of state person don't even have to pay, you know, it's probably $200-300 is all they got to pay for an out of state deer tag. And, you know, residents are even cheaper than that. And, you know, depending where you're at, you get, you know, maybe 2 does on a tag.
Yes, but you know, you're a continent, not country.
Right.
You know, and that is
Yeah.
a huge area, and you have about 300 million people, I think. But you in Europe, which is maybe like America, you have 1 billion people.
Yeah.
And it's too much people, and you don't have so much animals free, you know. For instance, we return in Serbia after 70 years. We have again European bison, you know.
Yeah.
And we have 5 pieces now, and we will keep them safe.
Yeah.
And trying to make a bigger population of the European bison. And it is almost killed all units, you know, in Europe, because it's you don't have like in USA endless lands on the woods, you know.
Right.
Too many cities, too many peoples, villages, you know, everywhere it's peoples, you know, and where the people lives, animals don't live.
Yeah, yeah, you're not going to have wild animals running around or
No,
very
no.
many of them running around when it's all cities. There's no
Yes.
habitat for them.
And the traffic, you have highways everywhere, bridges, you know, trains everywhere, and that you know, animals go deeply in Asia. But we're trying to keep them in some areas protected, and try to return some kind of animals which lived here before 100 years ago, you know.
Yeah.
And this is very good. We have a good population of wolves, you know.
Yeah.
And the bears, of course, and now we have a bison. That is a last project of our ecological ministry, and that is very nice. I'm very happy for this, you know.
Yeah, I just, you know, you never know, you know, what hunting like or anything, you know. And
No,
that's what's so
no.
great. So I can actually talk to you and say, you know, what's it like hunting in Serbia? It's like, well, if you're rich, you can hunt.
Yes. If you believe it, I have everything for hunting. I have arrows with points for hunting, everything, you know. But that is like a collection, or you know, piece. I'm keeping on my wall, you know.
Yeah. Not something
Only
you're going to use.
yes, and I would like to see, because it's hunting arrows. It's beautiful, you know.
Yeah.
And
So on your indoor shoots are all just target shoots. Do you have any indoor 3Ds during the indoor season?
in outdoor, we have competition in target and 3D and the field.
Okay.
You know, on target we have 70 meters for Olympic bow and 50 meters for bare bow. Approximately 10% it's in yards. That is 50 meter. It's 55 yards. You know, you add 10%, you will have in yards for your followers to can understand what is the meters. You know, and bare bow Olympic, and that is for a target. You know, field is classic like everywhere. You going from the target to target to different distances,
Right.
etc. And you have 3D competitions where is we shoot the animals models. We have several producers of the 3D models of the animals in Europe, and it's very expensive. But you know, we made some combinations, and we're renting. You know, for instance, we have 7 animals. Your club have 11 animals. You know, and we rent to you our animals, and you have a group because by World Archery it's 24 targets. You shoot with 2 arrows. That is one parkour. You know. And usually it's about 5 kilometers through the woods and creeks, and can be very, very nice. You listen to birds like singing, you know, and that is my favorite discipline. But I shooting over the winter season indoor. We shooting on 20 yards, 18 meters, and that is little boring. But now we must working on some other goal, you know. But I'm the man who like the nature and go to the woods, and you know, and keep my bow with myself, and we always make a good fun and good peoples, and that can be very nice, you know.
Yeah, I know. I enjoy shooting the outdoor 3Ds, you know, much more than the indoor ones. And
yes,
you know, a lot of other local clubs around here, there's 40 targets, and you might, you know, might walk in it, you know, depending on what time of the year it is. You know, if they have it in February, it could be nice weather, it could be snowy weather, it could be anything. And in summertime, you could have real hot days, and you know, it could be anything. The rainy days are the tough ones, especially on those that
yes,
are outside that
yes.
have kind of dirt trails, like walking in the mud.
I will go in April if everything be okay. In April, I will go to Austria. They have a lot of trails for 3D, and that is some kind of how I say. Everybody go to Austria to see how is that looking, you know. And I will go in Austria in April to see how's that looking, and take this experience in Serbia, you know. I will visit several of these trails, and I will see how is that looking, and I think that we can improve because we have a lot of good places for traces, you know.
Right.
Yeah, we are not a country of the agricultural, you know, where everything is flat, or mountains, or we have everything. Hills, rivers, creeks, you know, mountains, everything, you know, and everything is closed, you know, and that is a good. And we have a lot of this area. We can organize the tournaments, but I say about my calculation for some trail, it's about $10,000. It's necessary that you have one set of the animals. Of 24 animals with 4 categories, you know, how's that going? To cover all 4 categories and 24 animals, it's about $10,000 necessary. And also organization of the event. You must have a doctor, you must have security guys, you must have provide internet, everything what is necessary that some event be safe and pleasure for everybody, you know. And to start in this job, it's like more investment than how I say some fun or you know, it's not more not too much people can buy, but we provide every year 5-6 animals. Next year again 5-6, you know. And now we have some clubs who already have a completed track, and for instance, I have it now 7 animals for now, and that is about $2,000 I paid. You know.
Yeah, just kind of work your way up as the club gets bigger, then you can afford to get more more animals. And
yes, we will see. You know that generally we must find a sponsor. You know.
Yeah.
It is too much, you know. $10,000. It's a serious amount, you know.
Yeah, it is.
It is, believe me.
No matter how much you're making, 10,000 is a big chunk.
Yes, yes. You know, if you include that, you must buy your equipment. Also spend some $1,000.
Yeah.
And yes. And this cost that the club can work and compete and everything, it's not too easy to provide this money, you know. And this economical crisis make everybody keep it money. Nobody wants to give you something for some bigger goal, you know.
Yeah, you kind of think it's going bad. You just kind of try and hold on to your money. And,
yes.
You know, I've seen where, you know, those that try and hold it, they don't do very well. Those that try and invest it and grow end up growing bigger in the long run. And that's just hard to get the idea. It's like, okay, I'm not sure where it's going to come from. So you just pull back, and then you pull back, and next thing you know, you're out. And
definitely
step forward. And
yes.
Especially pushing archery is always good.
Yes, we are a small country, and the companies cannot make some enormous profit here, you know. We are a small market.
Yeah.
Only 6.5 million people, you know.
Yeah. Not many people. We have cities that are that big and bigger.
Yes, that bigger than the population of Serbia. You know, you can imagine what we're talking about, you know.
Yeah.
And that is, we have, of course, multinational companies, but they have only branches here, which is a small branch with, you know, and usually if you have a small market, that is a big risk of failure, you know.
Right.
And they are very scared about this situation, how it is going, and you know, nobody knows, but you must be enthusiast, you know.
Right.
And this are a few guys who has their own companies here, and we have some revenues little bigger than people who is hired and working in other companies. We can something push forward, you know. You know, but also I for instance, I have a accounting services company. I am a authorized accountant and auditor. But I believe me, I cannot take $10,000 and buy animals for archery. I can buy maybe 5 per year, you know. It's not easy, you know. You know. And from also it's because this all business is concentrated in our capital city, Belgrade. In Belgrade, you have more than 2 million people of 6.5 million, which live in almost 30% of the people live in one city.
Oh, yeah, that's
And
a
that is a
big
problem because
percentage.
all business it's one city, and other cities it's trying to survive, and our government trying to disperse, investments in economic in other city to develop the country on each side,
Leaves it open for other growth
Yes,
in there. And
yes, definitely.
so how would we get a hold of you if we wanted to attend one of your shoots? Because even though I'm in United States, there's a lot of people in around the world that listen to this podcast, watch the videos, and as well as the Archery Talk 101 Facebook group. There's people all over the world in there. Some of the places I have to like Google map it to figure out where they're at because I don't know. And so there are going to be a lot of archers within that area around there in Europe that are shooting. How would we get a hold of you to find out when your next shoot is and go to one of your shoots?
You have a website, Archery Association Serbia, and there you have a calendar of all regular competitions, and with all dates and which discipline will be shot that day. Of course, all these tournaments it's open. Everybody can come and shoot. From abroad, from countries which is around Serbia or from Europe, it's not limited. You can come and shoot. Also, friendly tournaments which we organized, especially during the summer, 3D or something like that. You will find on my group that is a Verbo Serbia on a Facebook group. I established this group before 20 days, and this group will be with all necessary informations for everybody who want to come in Serbia and compete. And you can find all information, GPS coordinates, and everything. Also, always you can ask the club who make the tournament for any additional information about accommodations and whatever you want.
Okay.
That is not. We are very, very happy to see. We have some guests from Slovenia, from Croatia, from Hungary from time to time, from Slovakia, and we are happy that can be a host of the foreign archers. And believe me, big fun, it's guaranteed.
Yeah. That's why we do it, is to have fun. If you're not having fun, you're in the wrong spot.
Yes, definitely. A lot of fun, good food, and it's accommodation you can find very, very, very cheap. It's not, don't go in hotels, guys. Hotels in Serbia, it's enormous expense. You can find on, how is it calling this site for bookings, booking.com. Booking.com. You can find it accommodation because very near the range, few kilometers, for instance, $20-30 per night.
Oh, that's cheap.
Yes. And very often me, because I don't like to wake up early, and tournaments start about 9 o'clock, you must register yourself until 9. I go afternoon earlier and sleep near the range, I find some accommodation, pay $20-30, and I sleep well, woke up about 8 o'clock, drink the coffee and go on the shooting range.
Yeah. Well, what I could do is I'll leave links in the description for the podcast, and then when I'll be uploading it on my YouTube channel, leave links in there. And that's if you're in that area, you definitely go. Sounds like it'd be a lot of fun.
Yes, and also I think that on a group you can find my phone number. If it is not, I will provide it. Everybody can call me, and I can arrange whatever you want for everybody from abroad. It's not difficult for me. I speak English, fluently,
Yeah.
and we can arrange whatever you want. If you want to participate in some tournament, just call me on the time, because
Right.
for instance, now we already have we start to fix the dates for tournaments during the summer, and you will have
Okay.
it on the group. You have enough time to organize yourself. If you want to come, you can contact me on Facebook, email, whatever. I have phone on the group, doesn't matter, and I can make a contacts with organizers, and no problem.
Okay. Yeah, that's, if you're over there, definitely go check it out. I
Yes,
know,
yes,
I was going over there, I'd definitely go there,
yes,
do some shooting
because
with you. And
because most of European countries, we don't ask visas. You can come freely, and it's Europe. It's not anything is not too far away.
yeah, yeah, I can imagine if, I had to go in between crossing states, have a
You
visa, get approved to go into the state. And yeah, that'd be a nightmare.
Yes, that is really annoying, For us, that is very very liberated. You can come, you can stay. It's not too expensive. Also, if who has a time can go to see some lakes, some rivers, some fortress for medieval age, or whatever. You can make some how I say a little small vacation, 4 or 5
Yeah,
days. Why not?
yeah, go do some shooting and do some sightseeing afterwards, and
Yes,
just
everywhere you
enjoy
can
it.
see
Yeah,
something, because in every city we have some fortress, you have some rivers, you have good restaurants, nice foods, and everywhere you can see something.
yeah.
Also, if you like fishing, you can go on fishing, It's not too expensive, like hunting.
Yeah,
It's about, I think $10 per day.
that's not too bad.
Yeah, that is acceptable for everybody, and can be very very good. For instance, I had in Slovenia, I had competition 4 days, but I was 10 days in Slovenia, because I go with the car all around, and see the castles, and the fortresses, and nature, and beautiful places, some caves, whatever.
Yeah,
That was like, because in August I made from this a little holiday, always for a same money you can go on competition and to see something, and make some fun and nice pictures, and bring home good memories,
yeah, those are always good. When your
Yeah,
travel expenses is more than what you're going to do, then you might as well do as much as you can, right?
of course. Of course, use this opportunity. If you pay, go to see something,
Yeah, it's like driving 3 hours for a 10-minute event and driving 3 hours back.
Yes, for
It just
instance,
doesn't.
before a few days, I went to Zagreb, that is the capital of Croatia. It's a 400 kilometers away from the Belgrade. I went at the morning and return afternoon, on the evening,
Yeah,
same day. We have a highway directly from Belgrade to Zagreb.
that makes it nice.
Yes, and I go to spend the time with the friends. We go on the lunch, and I come back to home.
That makes for a nice day.
Yes, but you have borders without visas, and just you sit in the car and go. Highway, it's not big traffic issues. Go on the highway and directly. We have a lot of cities which is connected with highways. and you can go very fast. It's not necessary to travel in 2 days.
Yeah. I was like, on your highways, you're going across countries like we go across states.
Yes, but I said that is believe me, completely different overlooking on the country. Your continent, you are not on the country.
Yeah. Yeah, a
That is
little bit different.
yes, relations between your countries. It's enormous for us in Europe.
Yeah. So as you're traveling between countries, is there a common language that everybody speaks?
In a countries in a foreign Yugoslavia, we understand each other. That is not a problem. But I'm using English everywhere because usually I'm traveling for business, and all companies who has branches here. When I go in mother companies, they have an international department where everybody speaks English. And that is not a problem for me. English is for me, it's like my native language. Maybe I made some mistake because that is my second language. But
Right.
yeah, maybe you can hear that, but if you take in consideration that I learned the English alone by myself, I think I'm pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, I can understand you just fine, so it's not a problem.
Yes, and usually I'm working with the guys who is international department. They always speak several languages, But English, it's generally in a company's universal language because you have companies from Melbourne, Australia to the I don't know, Los Angeles, California. And generally, you cannot work on that way that everybody speaks different languages. That is a complete mess,
Yeah.
And they
Yeah,
have
it is.
central controlling department, international department, who can collect all data from other countries, and also in that countries always must be employed somebody who speak English, because all reporting and everything it's on English. And everybody who come in Europe count that 90% of the people speak English. Everywhere,
Yeah.
Because so
I'm
many
hearing-
languages, in Europe, you hear it that it's impossible to communicate before some universal English. But this is something which is most common language in the world, and count that if you come in Serbia from abroad, everybody speaks English.
Well, that's good for us because a lot of us only speak one language, and that's English.
Yes.
We can understand a few words in different languages, but for me, there are some that can speak a couple different languages, and but for me, I know bits and pieces of a few different languages, but not enough to communicate.
Like everybody else, yeah. I learned, for instance, Greek language, which is extremely difficult. But I before Corona, I traveling to Greece very often, and I use this time to speak with the Greeks, because that is the best way to learn the language, with you speak with
Right.
with citizens in that country. And my Greek level was pretty good, But now when Corona started in 2019. I was 2019 on November in Slovakia last time, and after that 2 years without traveling,
Yeah, you can't kind of forget a lot of it if you don't use it very much.
Yes, I forgot a lot of this because it's very hard to learn, and I forgot it a lot of the language, and but okay, that is a life.
Yeah. Well, and then once in a while, I'll get something in language I don't understand, and I'll just type it into Google Translate, type in what they typed, and it translated in English, and then I can put my response and translate it back. And
Sometimes can be tricky. Be careful. Google, it's
Yeah,
not always good. For instance, in Turkey or
yeah,
some countries, you know.
yeah. I had a guy comment on one of my YouTube channels, and it was, I forget what language it was now, but I could understand. So I figured I'd translate it to English, and then it's like, oh, okay. And then I figured out what he asked, and then I could put his question down there and respond back in English and in whatever that language was. And that way, yeah, I could figure out what it was they said. When I grew up, there was like, if you didn't know it, there was no looking up nothing.
Yes, yes. It's a point that you should to understand the point of the somebody. It's not so difficult, you know. But now it's unfortunately after this corona, it's I traveling much less,
Yeah,
and I like foreign languages to learn, for instance, but unfortunately, too much job, you don't have a time, every weekend competitions, and you should to
yeah,
find time for your family, and
yeah. It all adds up. Anybody else in your family shoot?
my brother.
Your
My
brother?
brother, born brother, he shoot his best advantage is he's left-handed.
Oh,
He's not so good, but he's left-handed. And extremely was difficult to find a left-handed riser for him.
oh, yeah, yeah. That's
You
that's
know,
always trouble, because they, a lot of people don't realize that there's high number of people that are left eye dominant that shoot left-handed.
yes, yes, but we don't pay attention, on that until we have a situation. For instance, he asked me, I would like to shoot. Could you give me something of your gear? I said, okay, of course, I have everything. I have complete bow for you. But he told me I'm left-handed. Oh, and I find it a riser and tab, of course. I buy right-handed, but I made some modification to be
Yeah.
left-handed.
Well, and just because you're right or left-handed doesn't mean that's what you need to shoot, because you need to look at what's your dominant eye.
Yes.
And that reminds me of a time when I was working in archery store, and you said a twins come in, and one was right-handed, the other was left-handed. The right-hander was left eye dominant, and the right-hander was left eye dominant. The left-hander was right eye dominant.
Yes.
So they're just mirrored on both of them.
Yes. Yes.
You can't tell by what's your right or left-handed. It's your dominant eye, and when I'm setting up bows and getting a new archer, that's the first thing I want to check is after I find out what do you want to do with it. You want a longbow, recurve, compound.
Yes.
Crossbows not so much, because they have scopes on them, so
Yes,
which are
that
you're
is
seeing through
something different.
But and then after you find out what type of bow they're interested in, the next thing is, okay, what's your dominant eye?
Yes.
That's the thing you find out. It's like, now I know whether you get a right or left-handed bow, and then start looking for stuff.
Maybe you can start with a long bow that is universal.
Yeah, and like I said, like you said earlier, start off with something like that, because if you learn with that, you can always pick it up. Because
Yes.
my definition for archery, what is archery? It's a stick with a string flinging another stick.
Yes, definitely.
That fits.
Yes.
What doesn't fit in that? Crossbows are in that. Compounds are in that. Longbows, recurves, and all the other style of bows. It's a stick with a string flinging another stick.
Yes, definitely.
In
a basic, that is it.
Yeah, basically that's it. That's archery. Now,
Very
there's a lot
simple
of
physics.
variations.
Yes, different materials, but the principle it's the same.
Right. And
Yes.
so that's archery. That's my definition of archery. And I put a post
Yes.
one time. It's like, prove me wrong.
Yes.
You can.
If you can see because I have some books about archery, it's very difficult to find books about archery in Europe generally. I find on the internet and download. and because I'm accounting agency, accounting company, I have a printers where I have print a lot of pages for the same money. It's a rental price, and I print in and then go and make a book of this, and I'm reading this on English. And if you see in the history, you have bow and arrows from Aborigines from Australia to the Native Americans, on the other side of the world. Everywhere it's a bow and arrow.
Right. And I did a podcast with them in the history and found out that, they've gone back 64,000 years and found evidence of archery equipment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And
64,000 years. It's amazing that they found evidence that far back.
Yes, I just look at on the History Channel one show about history of archery, and especially about the ancient weapons, and how this evolution goes. And biggest jump in evolution was when we start to use bow and arrows. First was atlatl. That was some short spear. They shoot our ancestors, but it was a limited range. But with arrows and bows, that was completely new dimensions. And they explain how that from the hunting tool becomes a war tool, and used in all conflicts during the medieval and and ancient period, and from Egypt to China to everywhere. Mongolian invasion on Japan. When I mentioned Japan, I also one interesting thing maybe for your followers, that Master Pascal Colmer from France was in Serbia and made seminar about judo. And I participate. I have that honor to participate. And this is chief of the Judo Federation of the Europe. And we had the seminars, which was very, very, very nice. And I shoot with the Yumi, Japanese bow. That is a unique, believe me, experience. That is a bow like no others,
Right.
Yeah. It was very, very, very interesting, and it was amazing because he's a very great, very, very, very good man and a great master of the judo. And that was, for instance, I like to try all bows. You follow me on my Facebook page, and you see that I shoot compound, traditional bows, bear bows, Olympic bows, Yumi, everything, I always like to try, to see. And my last was compound, because my friend has a compound, and I asked him to make some evening in our club to shoot with compound, And I tried to shoot, and it was also surprised for me that how this machine work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if you shoot always with classic recurve, is it a bare bow or Olympic or traditional? It's no big difference. It's maybe anchor point or something like that, But when I took compound, wow, I said, wow, this is serious weapon,
Yeah.
Because the impact of my body on the weapon, it's a minimum. I have a trigger, I have sights, everything, And I was, wow, this is a complete different, approach to archery.
It is, yeah.
And I like to try everything, why not?
Yeah, why not? It's just something different.
But I don't shoot, I like their bow. That is my love.
Right. And
That
you can
is
learn something from all the different weapons, all the
yes,
different
but
ones.
I'm trying everything, Also for my American friends, I'm a competitor in the handguns. I'm shooting with 40 Smith Wesson handgun,
Oh, yeah.
And I am also a member of the club, and I go on the competitions, and I'm quite good in shooting
Yeah.
with a pistol, you know. Also
Well,
interesting for me, you know. I
yeah.
tried the
Yeah.
revolvers, but I don't like it. And I'm using American caliber 40 Smith Wesson. That is,
Oh,
it's a strong for competition, you know.
yeah.
The guys with 9mm have better groups, but I like it, you know.
You got to shoot what you like, right?
Yes, yes, because everything for me that is fun and some sport and nothing else, because that is not my profession, you know.
Yeah. I know I seen a video, you know, they use archery, you know, even in more modern days, archery is still in military. You know, sometimes
Yes,
it's the weapon. And
yes,
I seen one, I forget when it was, in the 60s or something like that. They had a archery division using recurves, I think it was. And they set up a box with 3 sections in it filled with dirt. They shot it with a 45 and an M1, and shot it with a bow, with a broadhead in it. The only one that penetrated the box was the bow.
yes, yes.
The 45 didn't even go through, you know, the first section, and the M1 went through into the second section, and the bow just went clean through and is filled with dirt. It's about a
Yes,
foot wide
yes.
thing.
No, that body armor cannot stop it.
No,
Hunting arrow.
no. The only way
If
you'd
you,
stop it is with the steel trauma plates, and that may
yes,
not
yes,
stop it
yes.
then.
But that is the extreme.
Right.
If you have a plate, this is 40 kilos weight, you know.
Now some broadheads, though, you know, like I shoot the Muzzy, and you know, a steel drum, you know, unless you catch it on angle, if you catch it on, you know, on the you know, high point on it, it's going to go into the drum.
Yes. I know that Serbian army used crossbows in a war in 1999. They use crossbows for
It's
special
quiet.
operations. Yes, because it requires special forces use crossbow.
You're gonna, it does make a little noise, but nothing like a gun going off.
Yes.
And they're going to hear it and not know where it comes from, because it's not a loud noise.
No, no. It's a very powerful long distance, very good optic sights, and that was a very deadly weapon.
Yeah, you're
They
not
use
going to go
special
back.
forces. They use it to eliminate guards. You know, usually about around the bases, something like
Yeah.
that. And for special operations, it's still in use. But we had the luck, because for bows and arrows, you need to have permission from the police departments in Serbia, maybe until 5 years ago. That was classified like a weapon.
Oh, yeah.
You must take your license to purchase bow from the police department on your municipality. And with these permissions, you can go to buy bow and arrow. And that was treated like a gun, like a rifle, like everything. And we organized in some like your NRA, you know,
Right.
organizations, and we fight for these rights, that we have this right to both be like sport equipment, not weapons. And only if you have more than 100 pounds strength, you must just register in a police department. You don't need permission, but you must register. That is
If you
usual
exceed 100
crossbows,
pounds.
you know. Yes, over the 100 pounds, that is usually crossbows, you know.
Right. And most people aren't going to pull back 100-pound longbow or recurve.
Who will use recurve? That should be Schwarzenegger. No, that is for compound, it's too much. About 60, 70 pounds for compound, it's normal strength, you know. But for over the 100, it's usually crossbows, you know. That is too much strength, you know. And you must register this, and Now we have also in the law that we have handguns like sport gear, and now I'm registered like sportsman, and I don't pay a tax on my weapons, and I have a right to go and compete around cities and without special permission, you know.
Well, that's good.
Yes, that is a good improvement, because it's very difficult earlier, because you know, you carry the gun and that can be a very big problem. But now for a sport, that is very good. You know, we had good improvements in these shooting sports, you know.
No, that's always good when they kind of free that up so that you can, you know, move around, or go through a whole bunch of hassles and make it expensive just to own them. And
yes, and that is a good. Now my main goal now, it's a bare bow, and this is the point that we make some improvements in our country about archers, to make more people to love archery, and to spend this love on a much more people, and to enjoy in this beautiful sport, you know. I'm using, for instance, now for a target competition, Gilo G2 riser, 25 inches long. My limbs, it's Gilo Q3 limbs, 34 pounds, on fingers about 36, and Gilo weights, and this is my setup for indoor, you know. For outdoor, I'm using usually for 3D Sami Kidel, complete 36 pounds limbs, and 38 pounds on my fingers, you know. Little stronger for 2 pounds, not too much, but a little stronger, because on a 3D we have targets on 30 meters.
little bit
Little
longer.
bit more, you know, and I need a little, these 2 pounds more.
couple extra pounds definitely helps.
Yes, couple extra pounds. It's beautiful, you know.
Yeah.
And this is my setups, and I say this is Gilo. It's about $1,000 cost. But I always say when people ask me, is this expensive sport? I always say depends how you crazy are, you know.
Yeah.
Like everywhere, you know. If you play tennis, you can buy the tennis. I don't know in English how you say
the racket.
Racket, yes.
Racket, yeah.
Racket can cost $3,000 and can cost $100. You know, depends how much you are crazy. You know, some middle class, it's about €1,000, but you can make a bare bow for $250 and be quite good.
Yeah, you don't have to have expensive equipment.
No, it's not necessary. People think that looking shiny, you know, and all these parts, and that is expensive. It is not. I bought the Gilo because it's very good for bare bow, and your also followers can see in Lancaster a lot of people shoot Gilo, and they had also a team. I think Gilo team was a guest in Lancaster, and this is a bow about $1,000, and this is already bow for guys who compete seriously. For amateurs, that is not necessary to pay so much.
Yeah, I know when I was starting out with new archers, like, okay, how much money you want to just throw in your closet and let sit? If you end up not keeping, you know, staying with the sport, it's going to sit in your closet. So how much would you willing to do that and start out? So I always recommend to start off with the low end entry level bow.
Yes.
Just go with inexpensive stuff, get started. If you don't like the sport, don't have that much, and you can sell it not really out much. If you like the sport, you're going to stay with it, and then just gradually upgrade. You know, it's like,
Yes.
okay, I want a better sight, you know, and then
Yes.
replace that. I want a better rest, and you know, I want a better release, and just
Yes.
kind of working your way up. And I'd probably go with a better release to start with, you know, because
Yes.
any sight and any rest will work.
Many people think that the main point is it's equipment. It is not, believe me. You know, you have experience also. Equipment give the little difference if you are a top ranked archer.
Right.
Give you stability and security. But release, your grip, your back tension, all these things, your good bear shaft tuning, it's much more important. Did you have a bow from 2,000 euros or 500 euros? No more, not so big difference, believe me.
No.
I shoot before 2 weeks on indoor. A guy came with a wooden riser, completely strange, you know. I said, what is this, you know? And I asked him, which kind of riser you have it? Oh, that is a handmade riser I made by myself. I was so surprised, you know. I was without words, you know, I stayed without words. He put the limbs, some cheap limbs, you know. And on that competition, he shoot the more points than me with Gilo.
Yeah.
On qualification round, he has about 15 points more than me. And I make a laughing, I will return my bow to Italy because, you know, the guy with the wooden timber beat me on the competition. Everybody was so surprised that he made it by myself. I made it. I had some timber wood in my backyard, and I made the riser. Said, "My God, is this possible?" You know, and he shot very well. You know, and I beat him after in a semi-final. But he shot with a handmade, you know, and he was the first in the qualification round. Everybody use Uka, limbs, Gilo, risers, Hoyt, Win, you know, expensive. He beat us completely.
Yeah.
That is not the point, you know, everything in a gear. Okay, if you are top ranked and you want to be in a first 3 places, it's have some sense to use it. But for bare bow, no, because you get generally shooting short distances. My discipline, I don't need some because 36, 34 pounds on 30 meters, it's arrow flying almost the same, you know. 18 meters, 30 meters is not different. Different, it's a long distance shooting. If you shoot bare bow on 50 meters, gear has some impact on your shooting technique. And or if you shoot Olympic on 70 or 19 meters, good gear can give you this fine tuning and, you know, good every shoot, every arrow to be smoothly shot, you know. That can have differences. But for regular guys, don't spend the money on expensive things that is not necessary. You can shoot very well with for $300, $250 very well, very well.
Right.
Definitely, I shot it only one season from core archery, some riser and some limbs, which was out of center shot, you know.
Yeah.
I couldn't make it in center shot, you know. It wasn't possible. And I was third place on national Serbia championship. I took third place with this bow. And I sell it this complete bow and arrows to one guy who had, I want your bow. Okay, give me $200, it's yours. Everything, arrows, bow, everything, you know. And he shoot today with this, you know, if you have a good technique and you can minimize the equipment impact on your shooting.
Yeah, good information, for beginners. And,
Yes,
that's, some of the stories I'm getting, I call it Arch Talk 101 because, focused towards beginners, and that's why I named the podcast that. That's why the group is named that, as well as the website. I have archtalk101.com, all kind of correlate that. Okay, how can we help new archers who've never shot to more advanced archers? How can we help you get better at your archery skills? Like,
yes,
on my over here, your guide to better archery skills. That's what, we're talking about archery. That's the focus of here's how can we make it easier for beginners? How can we take you once you're at the intermediate and advanced levels and
yes,
even Olympic levels? And each person has their own different story. And that's what's just so nice about, doing these podcasts, with the interview style, where we get to provide some information. And, if you listen to this and you get one little piece out of it,
yes,
that's great.
yes, yes. We are on the same path,
Right.
Believe me that many barebow shooters come to our club and train with us to improve themselves, that they coaches in their clubs don't know that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. There's
Because
always
they
something.
recognize that we are elite in the barebow archers, and they come and of course we doing that for free. We don't charge anything. We are a club which working only on donations. We don't have memberships. We don't charge education. If you want, if you want to learn, for in this moment, we just improve middle class archers to be best archers, on a high level archers. Because we are new established, we established the club before 3 months, and we just provide our training in one sports center, our facility, where we can train during the winter, and we have a soccer field where we can train on 50 meters, and we for now we don't have a possibility to beginners educate, but middle class archers, we take it, they spend some time with us, and they increase for 15%, for instance, points on the tournaments.
That it's always nice when you take, I have been mostly working with beginners, new archers, and it's really nice to see, you're setting them up, you're teaching them how to shoot. And when I had my store, with every bow come archery instruction as part of the purchase of the bow.
Great.
So I always
Great
taught them
approach.
how to do it. And, it's always nice when you have somebody who's been shooting for 2 weeks. First bow, never shot a bow. 2 weeks later, gets a Robin Hood. And it's like, oh, this is cool, because they learn and pick the technique up, and
Yes.
you teach them, and or the person that's afraid of a bow, and then the first time they shoot and it's like, whoa, this is fun, can I do it again?
Yes, always. I can do it better, next one, next
Yeah.
one.
and you get them all set up and get them trying a bow, and it's like, oh, okay, now they're hooked. They just like found it was so exciting, when that bow goes off, and it's like, oh, and they hit their target, because I've helped them. I got pretty good at, like when I'm doing with kids, being able to aim their
Great.
bow by moving around so they get a pretty good shot. From standing behind, holding up, because someone can't even pull a bow when you get really young kids. We got a bow, we're pulling it back. I'm kind of holding and pulling their hand back, and they're hanging on to it. And when they let go, then they're hitting the balloons, and that's a lot of fun when you get
Yes.
kids out there doing that, and
Yes.
they get
And-
so
and
excited.
they are excited and very happy, because on the last tournament, I look at some kids categories. They shoot Olympic bows, and they shoot 60 per 60 world archery target. And when they hit the gold, they was very happy and
Oh, yeah.
exciting,
Yeah.
They shoot everywhere,
Yeah.
But when they hit the gold, they are very happy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, yeah,
they
yeah,
receive the medals, and everything, and they are proud
yeah.
and go with the friends. Oh, look it, I have a medal. And that is a very very good approach. We will work on this. We provide the space for training. That is important. Now next we should to finish this season next 3 weeks, and after that we have 40 days break and start outdoor. And in that 40 days we should to reorganize ourselves for outdoor and to start with educations. Honestly, we didn't have time in this period because establishing the club was about 3 weeks. Of course, other clubs help us with paperwork. They send me to templates. I just change the address and the name and etc. to can register your sport club. And it was some negotiations to find the space for training, because you cannot take somebody, to train, because that is a process. If you don't have a space for training, you must have it some space where everybody can come in and train in some time, and 2 or 3 times per week on this spot. And but if I cannot guarantee them that they can start, then can make a break, I must change the location. That is not job.
Right.
And we find it. We finish this, solved this issue with the space. That is a finish. And now we will continue with this settings when we finish, because we have one more round to qualification, and we have a final cup final and national championship final shooting. That is a 3 weeks more, and then we will have it 40 days to rest. And I will go little, I said, in Austria to see how is that going abroad,
Yeah.
And the guys here will organize other things, and I hope that I will provide the sponsor for this year, and that we have this minimum financial assets to go on competition, and to can buy some polyfoam targets and regular things for training. You must have it. All these equipments, several bows for beginners, with low poundages and etc. But I hope I will make some job.
Yeah. Well, in parting here, to just kind of wrap it up, what are your parting thoughts that you would like everybody to know or hear?
I didn't understood you. Sorry.
Oh, what are your parting thoughts? What would you like to say to the audience before we end this?
Aha. Sorry, because I had some little noise in headphones.
Yeah.
I would like to say all peoples that archery, it's very fun, very healthy sport. You can be a sportsman for a small money. You can enjoy in your life. You can reduce your stress and increase your happiness. Because I didn't see archer who is not happy.
Yeah, you don't see many of them that aren't happy.
It's not necessary, guys, to be top archers or go to Olympics. Enjoy in your life. Shoot the bow and arrows and enjoy it in your life. That is one of the most beautiful things. It's not. It doesn't matter. Are you a kid? Are you old guy? Are you middle-aged guy? It's not necessary to run, to jump, to if you have some. How I say, I was before karate was my main sport, martial art, and I have a lot of injuries,
Yeah.
And I cannot so easy run or jump or something. And archery, it's ideal sport for me because I'm walking around the wood and shooting in a foam animals and enjoying my friends. And I can recommend it to everybody to spend a little time with the friends, family, in the nature, enjoy in shooting, and that is everything for us to what is necessary for us to be happy.
Yeah, it's been great having you on the show. It's quite enjoyable, and like I said earlier, I like talking to archers all over the world
Yes,
because it's a worldwide sport.
every day, every part of the day.
Hey, and now if we come across each other, we're instant friends. We get to
Yes.
meet. It's we're already friends. And that's the nice thing about archery is a worldwide sport, and we have friends all over the world, no matter what country you live in. Already
we
friends.
understand each other on each competition where I was with the foreigners. We are completely enjoy and understand each other, and only archery, it's our heads.
Right.
you forget everything else, and
Yeah.
that is some very, very nice aspect of our sport,